Bigfoot.
After being a Sasquatch, we haven't had a good Sasquatch story here for a while. This may loosen you up a little, Ted.
That's what it'll do.
Okay. After being kidnapped by a hairy monster, woman gives birth to Bigfoot baby.
I'll write you then.
Shall we read on?
I think I'm ready.
Scientists have uncovered fascinating secrets about the mountain Bigfoot. We call him Sasquatch.
That's what we call it.
Some call him Maze.
Yeah, well.
Thanks to a hairy child whose human mother was captured and made pregnant by one of the monsters 5 years ago.
Go figure.
The strange boy, Sagvi Vadrang.
Sagvi!
He's a Sasquatch boy.
Yeah, that's what he is.
Baby Sasquatch.
He is a big old hairy thing.
Strange boy Sagvi Vadrang speaks the Bigfoot language and has led scientists to the creature's mountain camp hidden deep in the Himalayas.
Argar largar.
Argar damn largar.
That's what we're saying.
It was 5 years ago that his mother, Guza, a 19-year-old girl from a remote Sherpa village.
That's why she named him what she named him. She's pissed about her name.
Well, she's from Sherpa.
She's Guza.
Was abducted by a hairy beast while hiking in the foothills of Mount Everest.
Go figure.
Go figure, huh? Guza describes the horrifying capture and the bizarre 5-month ordeal that was to follow.
Let's hear.
No, I think we should just leave it.
No. You got us peaked, baby.
All right. Okay, then. I smelled a powerful musky scent in the air.
That's got to be Bigfoot.
You know, them Sasquatches use that Jordan musk all the time. You know.
They got a stench hanging off
Well,
of
they put too much on.
That's the deal.
You know, they think you should just dab it. Maybe a little on the wrist and behind the neck.
If we'd found him, we could have told him that.
It's like they shower in it.
There you go.
I smelled a powerful musky scent in the air, and then a giant furry creature jumped out from behind a rock and grabbed me, she says. I was so terrified I fainted. I woke up in a cave lying in the monster's lap.
Hang on just a second, Brian. Nicole?
Yeah.
Would you like to listen to the story here?
So.
Are we
Reading the
bothering
TV guide over there.
Come on.
I woke up in a cave lying on the monster's lap. He was covered. She was doing a lap dance.
I guess that's the deal.
He was covered with fur and was at least 8 feet tall. That's a Sasquatch.
Must be a Bigfoot.
Pretty much would say to yourself, yep, there's Bigfoot.
If we saw it, we'd have said that's a Bigfoot.
It's Sasquatch over there.
Yeah, Bigfooty.
Well, we call a Yeti. Yet as scared. Don't even pretend like you're enjoying this, Nicole.
Yeah, you heard the beginning of the story.
You're not even into it.
with you.
He's over there laughing like you don't think you enjoy it. Yet, as scary as he looked, there was something very tender about the way he stared into my eyes. I had heard about his kind often while growing up. He was one of those creatures we call Yetis. Alone with the monster in the towering mountains, Guza had no choice but to depend on him for food and warmth.
I think she's digging him.
The Yeti brought her freshly killed game.
Yep.
And tried to speak with her in his strange language of grunts and moans.
Argar largar.
Amazingly, Guza was beginning to feel herself becoming emotionally attached to her captor.
What'd we say?
When she was rescued by a search party from her village who scared off the monster by firing their rifles.
You know, any Bigfoot brought me fresh game, I'd do him.
Hit them knees, baby. Come on, Guza. Down on your knees like a rat-eating cheese.
Doing it dog style.
While being taken... It's a song we wrote a long time ago.
Sorry.
A long time ago.
Deeply apologize. That was Bigfoot.
Yeah, Bigfoot. Sasquatch story. Sasquatch story. While being taken back home, Guza revealed to the men that she was pregnant with the Bigfoot's baby.
Murmur, wobble, peas and damn carrots.
They locked me up in a hut and kept me there until I gave birth, says Guza.
Sure they did.
She was doing better with the Sasquatch. I remember the midwife's screams when she first laid eyes on the hairy baby. This is basically how Ike Turner's mother felt, I believe.
I think it is.
But I didn't think he was so ugly. He had his father's eyes, sad and yellow. Guza's son, whom she named Sagvi, quickly became loved by the villagers despite his frightening appearance.
Yeah.
We do have pictures, by the way.
He's a hairy boy.
There's Sagvi.
Yes, sir, bud.
Ted, there's a Chuck, Arlo, Sagvi. Yeah.
Thank you.
This kid mooses that face.
Let's see, where we at here? Baby's foot, but I didn't think Guza's son was clearly no parents. He began speaking at 1 year of age and amazed local inhabitants by his thundering Bigfoot howls which echoed through the mountains. It was only recently that the furry 5-year-old was discovered by visiting mountain climbers who brought him to the attention of Bigfoot researcher Dr. Sangay Lal.
Oh, Sangay.
Oh, he's in all the big...
Yeah, he really is.
He's a Sasquatch hunter.
He's your Bigfoot specialist.
We knew immediately that this child was the real thing, says Indian scientists.
Go it, Doc.
He answered all our questions You ask him Sasquatch questions,
Sure.
you get a Sasquatch answer.
Pop right up with it.
He answered all of our questions and offered to take us into the remote areas of the abominable snowman. Okay. We followed him into the mountains. He seemed to be guided by a psychic force.
Who?
After days of trekking, obviously not a very good psychic force because it took him days.
Yeah.
After days of trekking, the team arrived at an icy cliff dotted with caves. Sagvi howled and
Drago Sagvi up there with him, did they?
Sagvi howled. He's the one who led him there.
Sure he
Yeah,
is.
he's a psychic thing.
Yeah, I guess it is.
Sagvi howled, and several gigantic hairy figures poked their heads out of the openings in the rock.
So a howl's all it takes to get yourself a damn big
I guess
abominable
so.
snowman.
Well, I guess if you're Sagvi, it does.
We got to go figure that out.
They were frightening. No, they were frightened at first, but when they saw we were there with one of their own, they shyly approached us, says Dr. Law.
Good.
There were 7 of them, and the smallest one probably weighed about 400 pounds.
That's a little thing.
They spoke with a child in the strangest language I'd ever heard.
I'm sure they did.
Argar, largar. The
Yes,
scientists spent a week. The scientists spent a week with a pack of Yetis, living in their caves and following them on their hunts. When it was time to leave, a solitary Bigfoot they had never seen before wandered down the cliffside.
Murmur.
It was Sagvi's father.
Oh, what a reunion.
No, this is from Dr. Law.
Let's break out the mariachi band.
He'd know.
Yep.
He lifted his son into his arms and began licking his face and cooing like a dove. Which is the same thing you do when you get home with Matthew.
You're
isn't it?
damn right I do.
Watching it brought tears to our eyes. Sagvi and the scientists said their goodbyes and returned to the Sherpa village in somewhere.
Yeah.
Along another expedition to the Bigfoot camp with the television cruise is now being planned. Yes, woman gives birth to a Bigfoot baby.
Holy cow.
It's a warm story. Brought tears to our eyes.
Hey, I'm tearing up right here as I sit before you.
I think the Big Yeti, the father of Sagvi,
Yeah.
he wrote a poem about it.
Did he?
Yeah.
Got it?
Yeah.
Know it?
Uh-huh.
Gonna share it with us?
Nantucket. There you go. So there's that. No, we got one more thing here.
Well, we could take a break. That was.
No, we
that
gotta
was-
get Todd in
That
here.
was lengthy.
Yeah. Well, you couldn't leave anything out of that story.
No. We had to get all the deets
Yeah, all the deets.
on that bad boy.
All right, we're going to be back. Todd Dono, then we got to find somebody a job, and then talk about Sylvester Stallone's art. Yeah.
Bigfoot's got a kid. We just learned about it.
I like?